Hello everybody, I'm Nicolai Klemke, I'm the founder of Newer Frames. Today I'm here with Sway Molina. He not only created the song, but created also the music video himself with Newer Frames.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again.
Sway, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Thank you for having me.
Cool, it's an honor. Maybe can you briefly introduce yourself? Who are you? What are you doing? How did you end up here? What's going on?
Oh, how did I end up here? So I still consider myself a newbie in the AI art space, although I'm going in I'm already been like 3-4 months in the space. So I've learned a lot along the way. And in those 3-4 months, I stumbled onto neural frames. And neural frame has been such a powerful tool for me. Not only has it helped me create music, but it's also helped me create stories. So early in my creating neural frames, creating days, I did just that. I started creating different narratives, and I thought, wow, I saw the potential already, and it almost felt like a moving storyboard. And then I started playing with music and sound design, and being not only a storyteller but also a musician, I asked myself, how can I start making music with neural frames? And knowing that Nico is a musician himself, and the vision for neural frames seems to be catering to the visual and musical artists, I thought, let me help along the way, by doing that, I'm helping myself, because it's been a while since I've created music. So the video that you just saw is called Wrong Number. It took me half a day to create. I'll share my screen with you to show you my process really quick, and how that came about, and how I turned that track into an AI video using neural frames.
Awesome, let's do just that.
Okay, so what you see here, this is Logic Pro, is a DAW. This is where you create music, for those who are not musically inclined. This was a mix of originality along with the using Apple loops. Okay, so this track right here, the Smash Kit, this is a recording, and you'll see the MIDI recording here of me playing drums. So what I did is I grabbed my laptop, I sat next to my electric drum set, which I have in my bedroom, and I just started playing away with a basic music bed that I had here, pretty much a bass. And this was just one take. I just hit quantized, and then I started sound designing, which is a process that I love doing for my videos. So, I mix those two skills together, sound design with my music, and I always think in terms of story. What can I say with this soundtrack, right? And then I started adding all these the wrong number vocals, and I started playing with that and doing some stretching and changing pitch. And what I did with my drums is I started stacking those drums and adding other drums on top of that, different drum sets that add different sound effects. That way I can have something beefier, something more dynamic, something different.
Maybe I can add one thing. Sorry for interrupting. Maybe for the viewers, a curious side note. I invited Sway without knowing that he made the song. I thought he just took the song from somewhere, and now he told me he's actually created the song himself. This is so awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could make songs every day, every single day. And I was sharing with Nico my goal, and I have to give credit to neural frames for inspiring me, and other artists as well that uses neural frames, and we kind of created our own little group, and we're holding each other accountable to create consistently. So I credit neural frames for bringing me back into my musical groove. So my goal is to at least create one track. There's no goal, I want to sell an album, I want this to go viral. No, I just want to get it out of my system, So Saturday and Sunday, create the song. Between Sunday and Monday, make the song happen inside Neural Frames. Okay, and yeah, my process is pretty straightforward. As you can see, this is where all the magic is happening inside Neural Frames. I'll hit play.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
This is the edit that I made, the artificial intelligence edit that I made inside Neural Frames using the model Stable Diffusion XL. So I'm gonna pause that so I can hear Nico, and that way you can get a brief idea of what happened. And when I took this video inside my video editor, I started adding all sorts of effects, and we'll get to that soon. But inside Neural Frames, my approach is really simple. And what I did is I threw in the song, and there's a lot of tutorials on how to do this. Nico, you do an amazing job with tutorials, by the way. So yeah, a lot of good stuff in the Neural Frames YouTube channel. Yeah, what I did is I added the song, and from the song I modulated through the snare stem. So I thought, the snare is going crazy, and that was intentional, right? I go crazy on the drums. It's just like, it's so much stress. I need to get it out of my system. So I was like, this right now is not only a visualization of my drums, but it's also my stress, like being released. So that's pretty cool in itself. And then based off this modulation, I get all sorts of effects, and the video is responding to that, right? And we'll discuss right now a little bit about my prompting. I wanted something abstract. At the time, this was like a week ago, I was very into visualizing neural networks and communication waves and really into the abstract. So I took all those things that I was very curious about. I just added those keywords, and also another visual component was a tilt shift effect. So the tilt shift effect adds like a blur around the frame, which is really cool, and it adds a little bit of depth.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like these electronics aesthetics. I really like it. Yeah, it's really nice.
The beauty about Neural Frame, it surprises you.
Yeah.
Like you have control to a certain extent, but you're surprised and you're amazed. And it's a process. It's not something okay, set it and forget it. It's a process. You feel creative, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, it was like you get something, you're like, it doesn't feel quite right. Let me try again. So, and that's cool too. It happens the same when I create music and when I edit videos. So
for this project, did you go forth and back a lot, or how was the experience there?
This one was pretty straightforward. Maybe I went back 2 or 3 times. I'm always testing if I can get away with just one prompt. I'm pretty lazy, Nico. If I can get away with just one prompt and just one of these right here, I'm a happy man. And I know some people like Ben Nash, they go crazy, right? They like cutting and they like that, and that's cool. That's their style. That's what they like. But if I can just be, hey, I just want to see what this does, that's perfectly fine for me. But I added 3 cuts over here, and in each cut is just something slightly different. So I try not to change too much because I still want it to feel part of the same world, right? The prompt to feel the same. And in most cases, if I feel like, okay, this is not happening for me, I go ahead and use Pimp My Prompt. Like, Pimp My Prompt is one of my favorite stuff to use.
I see you added topography waves instead of communication waves, for instance. What else did you change? Neural communication networks instead of neural electric networks. So very small changes.
Yeah, here I already knew that I'll get like some sort of like digital landscapes.
Right.
So that, at least in my mind, right? That's what happens when you prompt. You have it first. You think about the prompt, but the prompt creates in your head. And this is more or less what I was going for. And, using topography, I knew immediately I was going to get depth, like waves. And I thought that was cool. And here I think I went back. No, I went more abstract. I started adding prompts like distortion, synapses. I wanted to see like different sparks and tilt shift. And and the prompts are pretty forgiving. So if like you're on the fly and you tend to write a misspelling, sometimes I could even make your your image better.
And for the flicker style and the movement, you just went with chill and trippy, I see, and you just kept it like this. No, not much going on.
So this is me on easy mode, right?
Yeah.
This is me on easy mode. When I do go pro, those are for projects where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take this a lot. I'm taking this to another level, right? And as a person that deals with dyslexia, I struggle with directions, right? So like for example, when I'm looking at rotation, I'm like, okay, this is going like this. And I have to do this. Okay, this is going like that. So
yeah.
I'm immersed. I'm immersed in the experience, right? So like I'm turning, and I'm like, so that's kind of cool too, because I'm like, oh, I am part of my own art, and playing with strengths and all that. But in this one, I didn't do that. By the way, SD XL, you produce amazing images. The only thing that's required is patience. Be patient. It does take a while. If you really want high quality images, it's definitely worth the wait, and you'll be banging your head sometimes, but it's definitely worth the wait.
Yeah. So exactly, Neuroframes has, I think, 4 other models that are much faster, and then Stable Diffusion XL produces great images, but takes probably double the time or something like that. Yeah. Nice, awesome. Yeah, very, very simple project. Looks great, honestly. I think the modulation does a great job also. And then you exported this, and this is what I like about your work so much, is you exported this and then went into post-processing also, right?
Yes, I took this to another level, and it kind of hurt me, right? So it's like, it's so good, but let's see what else we can add to it. So in this case, I took it into my video editor, and we're going to zoom on this, and the edit itself is pretty basic as well. So you can use any editor if you want to do something of the likes. What I did here is I just played around with, a mirror plugin. So I threw in a mirror plugin over here. So I'm going to toggle this on and off. So you see, this is the original video. And then I threw in a mirror because I just wanted everything more balanced, right? I wanted everything to be, mirroring each other. And I thought that was a really cool effect. Now everything feels like all part of the, like one circuitry, one motherboard, and they're just, part of the same world.
Yeah, this is mind blowing. I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I added more cuts over here, which is grayed out because this is a compound clip, but more cuts here that's going with the timing of the music. And in each clip here, I just added different effects, and I'm just mirroring up, mirroring left, mirroring right, and then. In some cases I go with like some sort of kaleidoscope, and you see this is the topography effect, and I just throw in another mirror effect, and I just change the angle and the direction, so I can do something like, I'll just show you. If once I change the angle, I can do this, you see, and just get cool. whatever I feel, fits with the cut.
Yeah. And
all sorts of like aberratics, effects, and sometimes I go black and white, and this one has like a negative film effect.
So there's actually a lot happening there. How long did it take you?
The edit itself probably about 2 hours, maybe
right.
2-3 hours. Yeah. So and another thing that I like to compliment Neuroframes is that you can upscale.
Yeah.
So when you upscale, and for example, I have a much more receptive audience on Twitter, and you don't necessarily need to have 4K on Twitter. When I'm able to upscale in HD or 4K, I know that the quality is going to be high when I upload to Twitter anyways. But I also, as a backup, I do YouTube, and even on YouTube it looks great, and I get to turn on my YouTube app on my TV and see my own creation, and then the kids get to see it, and that's it's a whole experience. So this is I would say this is a 2-day, maybe a day and a half production, depending how patient and how fast you are. I really like this, and got some really good feedback on it, and always look forward to do it again.
Awesome, Sway. Thank you so much. Super interesting, very inspiring, I think. Wish you all the best with the next track. I'm already looking forward to see the next one. Maybe you can, where can people find you?
Well, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, YouTube as Sway Molina. That's SWAY Molina, MOLINA. You'll see my stuff, a lot of AI art, a lot of abstract stuff, a lot of, and some of my old work even has comedy. And so I kind of mix all those things, so yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sway. Yeah, this was our first interview session on Newer Frames. Subscribe to this channel. There's going to be more. And support Sway, support the amazing AI art scene that is happening. Happy rendering.
The number you have dialed